this is the demo for the bookmaking craft track, which means in this track you're going to create a bound sketchbook for use in class. Now you have two choices. You can choose between a Japanese style binding where you have a front and a back cover, but your binding is sewn. So when you open up and use your sketchbook, it's landscape, okay? But you have sewn your binding. Or you can choose to have a traditionally bound sketchbook with a spine where you open it up, okay, and you use your sketchbook much like you would any other book. In order to create the traditionally bound book, you need 2 pieces of cardboard, a spine, your copy or original design. You need some carrageenan, which is just ground up seaweed. You also need a large brush, scissors, and a pencil. Now the first step is to place your pieces in the center of your paper. You only want about a pencil's length in between your end, your book cover, and your spine. Once you have them lined up, you're just going to trace around the corners of your pieces so that you know where they belong. And it's okay if it's not perfect. If you really want to make sure that they're exactly 6 by 9, you can trim them with scissors. It's just cardboard. Now, if you've ever wrapped a present before, you know that corners are a pain in the butt. So if you've ever wrapped a present before, you know that corners can bunch up and cause some problems. So we're actually going to trim our corners off. It's best to do this before you put any carrageenan on because it gets pretty wet and then your paper gets fragile. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut all the corners off of our book jacket. Okay. So all the corners are cut off of my book jacket. I'm ready to apply carrageenan. The only other thing you need is an edge tool, okay? It's got nice smooth edges so you're not gonna rip your paper. You can use the end of scissors if you need to, or the side of a pencil. There's only a few of these, so you might have to wait your turn to use one of them. Now when you're putting this down, carrageenan is cool to the touch and it feels kind of like hair gel. You're just gonna spread it out evenly. You won't really be able to see it. It'll start soaking into the paper, which is okay because we actually want it to soak into the paper. That's how it will adhere to the actual book jacket. But the longer you wait to put the book jacket down, okay, the less sticky carrageenan becomes. So you do them one side at a time. You're gonna line it up and then use your edge tool to press down nice and evenly. Really make sure that there's good pressure there. Same thing with the spine. And then you're going to do the second back cover of your sketchbook. Now we're going to let these dry for 24 hours. We're going to put a heavy book on top of them, and gravity is going to help both the cardboard and the paper really fuse together. So don't worry if it's popping up for right now. Just try and work efficiently. Okay. So now we're ready for the sides to be folded over. What you're going to use, you want to make sure that you put some carrageenan on the inside corner or the inside flap, and then also on the paper so that it really sticks. you take your edge tool and just kind of lift up the side, push against the edge, really making a nice crisp clean fold, and then slowly with even pressure push that paper into your book jacket. Now you're just going to do it around all 3 other sides. Now when you go to put this in the back of the room, you want to put it on top of another book and find a heavy book from the bookshelf to really put some pressure